Hello students, this is your chemistry class and today we will continue with second chapter physical and chemical changes. Now we will start with topic physical and chemical changes involve energy change. Means whenever physical and chemical changes occur, there is change in energy. So we know that heat and light both are forms of energy, heat and light. So whenever physical and chemical change occur, there is change in heat energy or in light energy, and this is due to energy is either taken in, that is absorbed, taken in means absorbed, or given out. Given out means evolved or emitted by a substance undergoing a change. Underline, energy is either taken in or absorbed by or given out by a substance undergoing a change. And on the basis of this fact, physical and chemical changes are further categorized into two parts. Another two types of changes are exothermic change and endothermic change. So if we talk about exothermic change, this word is a combination of two words, exo plus thermic. Exo plus thermic. And thermic means heat, where exo means exit, or we can say given out, or we can say emitted or evolved. So any change in which heat is given out by substance, heat is given out by substance, or heat is emitted by substance, or we can say heat is evolved, known as exothermic change. A change in which heat is given out, emitted, or evolved by substance, known as exothermic change. Similarly, word endothermic comprises of two words, that is endo plus thermic. So again, thermic means heat and endo means taken in. Taken in means to say absorbed. So any change in which heat is taken in or absorbed by substance, known as endothermic change. So exothermic and endothermic change means in an exothermic change heat is given out, and in endothermic change heat is taken in. For example, when liquid changes into solid, liquid like water changes into solid like ice, now heat is given out by liquid. Heat is given out. So because heat is given out by liquid, in order to form solid, ice from water, so we can say this change, that is this freezing, is which process? It is exothermic process, because heat is given out by liquid water in order to change into solid ice. So underline, a change in which heat is evolved is called an exothermic change, or we can say change in which heat is emitted or given out. Next, a change in which heat is absorbed is called an endothermic change, or we can say a change in which heat is taken in, known as endothermic change. Next we have few examples of energy change in a physical change. And very first example is of change in state. Now to understand this, solid ice changes into liquid water, and for this change, this solid ice absorb heat. So heat is absorbed by solid ice in order to form liquid water, and this process is known as melting. So in melting there is absorption of heat. So we can say melting is which process? Heat is absorbed. So melting is endothermic process because heat is taken in by solid. Now this liquid water changes into water vapor. This is because of absorption of heat by liquid water. So again heat is absorbed by liquid water in order to change into water vapors. So this process is known as either boiling or evaporation. So we can say evaporation and boiling both are endothermic changes because in both heat is taken in or absorbed by substance, that is liquid water. Now if we go in inverse, that is in order to form liquid water from water vapor by condensation, then this water vapor release heat into the atmosphere. So because heat is released by water vapors in order to form liquid water, so that's why this process, that is condensation, is exothermic change because heat is given out by water vapors. Similarly, if we talk about freezing, that is in order to change liquid water into solid ice, this liquid water will emit heat, or we can say evolve heat. So again this process, that is melting of water, freezing of water, is known as which change? It is known as exothermic change. So with this we can say that this melting and evaporation both are endothermic. And if we talk about condensation and freezing, both are exothermic. Both are exothermic changes. Now you can see that energy changes are observed during a change in state. A solid has to be heated in order to melt. That is, solid absorb heat in order to melt. For example, ice, sulfur, iron, etc. absorb heat in order to melt. So similarly, a liquid absorb heat in order to change into vapor, and on being cooled, gases and vapors form liquids, and heat is given out in these processes. That is, in condensation, heat is given out. And for this we have activity. Now for this, boil water in a kettle and place a bowl of cold water near its spout. So as soon as water vapors coming out from this spout comes in contact with this bowl, they will condense, and after some time you will notice that the water inside this bowl, that is cold water inside this bowl, has become hot. Now, why this water, that is cold water inside the bowl, become hot? So this is because during condensation of these water vapors, heat is released, and that released heat is absorbed by cold water, and that cold water become then hot. So on being boiled, water changes into water vapor. The water vapor condenses into drops of hot water, transferring heat to cold water in the bowl. That is, heat released during condensation is transferred to cold water in the bowl. So the water in the bowl becomes hot. Next example is of dissolution. Many substances evolve heat, while some substances absorb heat while dissolving in a solvent. So first of all, if we talk about glucose, then when you put some glucose on your tongue feels cool. This you might have felt while eating glucose. So this is because while dissolving in the moisture of the tongue, glucose absorbs heat from it. So because heat is absorbed by glucose, so that's why your tongue feels the cooling effect, because all the heat is absorbed by glucose. So this process, that is dissolution of glucose in water or in the moisture of tongue, known as endothermic change. Similarly, if we talk about ammonium chloride, now when we dissolve ammonium chloride in water, then what happens? After dissolving, solution of ammonium chloride is obtained, and this solution is cold in touch, or we can say after dissolution, whole solution cools down. This is because while dissolving, ammonium chloride absorbs all the heat from water, and therefore this solution cools down. So heat is absorbed by ammonium chloride while dissolving, and this process is endothermic change. So we can say when you dissolve ammonium chloride in water, the whole solution cools down, because ammonium chloride absorbs heat from water while dissolving in it. On the other hand, underline, if you add bathroom acid, that is concentrated hydrochloric acid, to water, then heat is evolved. So because heat is evolved or emitted, we can say that when we add acid into water, this process is exothermic process. So thus the dissolution of glucose or ammonium chloride in water is an endothermic process, and that of bathroom acid in water is known as exothermic process. Next we have few examples of energy change in a chemical change. So if we talk about burning, then when coal, wood or any fuel is burnt, then what happens? We know that heat and light are emitted. So because heat and light are emitted during burning of any substance, so we can say that burning is exothermic process, because heat and light is emitted during burning. Next example of energy change in chemical change is slaking of lime. So when we add water into quicklime, then we get slaked lime. Or we can say, in order to convert quicklime into slaked lime, water is added into quicklime. So when we add water into quicklime to get slaked lime, then lot of heat is released, or we can say lot of heat is emitted. Now because heat is released, or we can say heat is emitted during this conversion, so we can say slaking of lime is exothermic process, because there is exit of heat or emission of heat. Now this emitted heat is so high that added water starts boiling, or we can say water vaporizes, and due to this hissing sound is produced while slaking of lime. So quicklime exothermically react with water, that is lot of heat is released or emitted. The reaction is so highly exothermic that the water adder starts boiling. When a very small amount of water is added, the water quickly vaporizes out with the hissing sound. And with large amount of water, a thick white paste of slaked lime is formed. This process is known as slaking of lime. What is slaking of lime? Process by which slaked lime is prepared from quicklime and water. Next example is of photosynthesis. So as we know that photosynthesis is a process by which green plants prepare their food from carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, and this sunlight is form of energy which is trapped by chlorophyll present in green leaves. So photosynthesis in green plants takes place only in the presence of sunlight. Underline, only in the presence of sunlight. Chlorophyll, the green pigment of leaves, absorbs sunlight, that is energy, and helps the plants to produce glucose and oxygen from water and carbon dioxide. Now because during photosynthesis sunlight is absorbed by chlorophyll present in green pigment of leaves. Therefore we can say that this photosynthesis is which process? Endothermic process. Endothermic process or endothermic change, because energy is absorbed by this process, or we can say during this process. So with this we are done with full chapter.